Okay, so shit, this map. This map is so silly. This is a really good map for like. You think that infested aren't supposed to be mobile on this map, right? They're not supposed to be mobile in general. That's kind of their theme, but it's bullshit. They are. They can drop roaches, especially with like corruptors and shit. They can harass. If one of them ends up playing infested, and I know Summer Loud does. I'm not as familiar with Mystical, but Summer Loud does stream his matches sometimes, so we can see that. That's definitely a thing. But this map is so long. The base instances, right? Like you had to go all the way through here, and if you do end up going through the middle instead of like around on the high ground, there's all these different little ramps here that you can get flanked at. So it can just be really bad if you try to go for like a straightforward attack. Plus, going for that straightforward attack, um, oh man, it's just long. First of all, it's long, so even the straight path is still long, right? So that's going to be a thing. Anyway, so they're loading. This is the first map. It's a best of three. They have to select three races at the start, and then for the second match, they're allowed to go to, was it two races? And then the third match, they go to one. So it's kind of prevents some mirror matches, right? Let me turn up this classical jam just a tad. Oh, there we go. I'll play those woodwinds. That's good stuff. Okay. Oh, he's still loading. All right. I wonder if they're gonna play ladder. You know, despite my love for Heptacraft, I still haven't installed the ladder client. All right. What are we gonna see as races? I don't know what's happening. He doesn't have it on. That's interested. Uh-oh. Infested. Okay, and what do we have here? So, Mystical down here is infested. He included two. You're supposed to include three, buddy. He deceives us. Oh, wait, no. This is Summer! Are you serious? Well, these guys are fucking goobers. Okay, sure, whatever. Anyway, so it looks like we have Nerazim. You can actually get the Nexus confused really easily. So these guys are Nerazim here, and some are here as infested. So I think with this matchup, it's actually pretty rough for Nerazim because all the infested units have like a lot of like health and armor, and Nerazim are all a lot of quick hits. So it's very easy to get swarmed by them unless you just keep your army moving in fights. That's been my experience, at least, against Infested. So, okay, pretty simple. No gas yet, just a gateway. Infested can actually do this imbalanced build where they just get gas, and then all you need to make a commander is nothing. So why not just make them if you're going to be defensive early on, right? There's really no reason not to do that. It's kind of annoying. But whatever, that's fine. Spreading that creep, pretty good. And also the movement speed on creep plus the early infested commander. It also has like 6 range, I think. They recently got nerfed so that they have less health and their armor is gone. So that early zealot's gonna kinda go as the scout. And also just to be a dick in general is kind of what they do. But it's good. It saves you a probe. But yeah, here's the infested stats here. He does have 6 range. His attack speed is a little slow. But you know, it doesn't really matter so much just because like who cares? He just shoots him and then runs away. 6 range like this early on. None of the tier 1 units can really like stand against that, right? The only thing about the infested commander build is that you don't end up getting a roach warren all that quick. So it's likely that you're going straight for an expansion with this kind of build. There we go. That's what we're going to see. So that expansion, really early on, this is going to be a very defensive build. That zealot's going to come in, though it's unlikely to actually kill the queen, even if it starts punching it. If you really want to go for the workers, we're probably going to see Summer spawn the banelings. So this is pretty annoying as well because the banelings do a lot of damage unless you're running away from them. So you can kind of just wait for your opponent to start attacking and then send them like that. But those are all of his banelings. Is he morphing something else here? Oh, it doesn't look like it. He might just have to attack this with workers. Ooh, you don't want to see that sort of thing happen. We see a little drop in the income here. You know, when you do this stuff, where you have to grab all your workers, it's actually surprisingly devastating. And again, here the infested commander, they perform really well off on the creep, but not so much off the creep, right? They're not so much an offensive unit, unless you're playing against like Terran. So that income is going to start stabilizing out a bit here. That's fine. Thankfully, without like the armor and the health loss, these units are actually pretty good. Also, infested have a quick night regeneration as a day and night mechanic. Every 2 minutes, it goes from day to night. You can also see that the map just looks a little darker in general. So So 2 eggs here. Summer up with that expansion. How fast does someone start making the workers? Oh, that was quick. That's how you know how good someone is, by the way. And Mystical's expansion here is a little slower, but he has tech. He's going for something here. Oh, he's going straight for DTs. Okay, that's cheeky. He could just win, and Summer would be like, oh, I'm dead. This is dumb. But Summer is getting a level 2 cocoon, and level 2 cocoons basically enable you to just go straight into, what are they called? The flying guy, the detector, scrutinizer. It's kind of like an overlord, but it's just really tiny and fast. Think of it like if a scourge could also be a detector, but it doesn't do any damage. That's basically how it handles and plays. I use a lot of Brood War references, or metaphors, because that's where I'm from. That's what I did. Uh-oh. He has the little fucking changeling here. Wait. Okay, the changeling affected that one. I was like, wait, I don't know which one is the changeling. That's fine. I think changelings are overpowered too. They just annoy me. Not so much overpowered, I guess. So what are we saying here? More infested commanders. So again, more of a defensive build. Here, evolution chamber with the +1. So I think, generally speaking, whenever you see like +1 and a lot of upgrades and early expansions, it's much more macro oriented. It looks like he's kind of making a wall here in his base. This might be a little troubling if he needs to get to the back of his base, because he has this big wall here just like preventing him access, unless there's space there, but whatever. It doesn't look like it's going to be too big a deal since Summer's not doing a build or anything. Summer's economy to the early expansion is really high up there. A lot of money here. Not a lot of units for anyone. 2 stalkers, 2 commanders. So no one really wanting to hurt anyone's feelings here. Everyone just kind of sitting around, but infested up with that early expansion. A lot more workers, a lot more saturation. We're not seeing too much of what Summer's doing. The laboratory here lets you build infested command centers, which just kind of spawn a bunch of really shitty units, but die over time. So that might be a thing. He's probably... Yeah, okay. We're seeing it move out now on the minimap. The brightness is a little low, sadly. But you can definitely like kind of proxy these things, is essentially what they are. They're just like things you proxy, and they spawn units with energy. So they take Terrazine, as you can see. Terrazine is a resource that is generated slowly over time. Also, we see Dark Templars coming up the middle here. So these things are pretty tough, 40 damage. They have a lot less HP than the Brood War variant and lower shields, but you know, actually they're just shitty Brood War Dark Templars. That's fine, not a big deal. It doesn't look like he has any detection. He doesn't have like... Oh wait, he does have a worm, which is a detector. Though this can be snuck past. It's just a matter of how confident Mystical is against this, right? Plus, there's also the broodling, or they're not broodlings, they're banelings. They spawn banelings. So those can like come out and potentially slow things down. And it looks like, unless you see this sort of thing coming, this like amount of units can be really annoying. And I think we're probably going to see the laboratory upgrade incubators, which doubles the energy rate for infested colonies. Oh, looks like we have some cheeky drops here. So just some corruptors coming in. So stalkers are going to be able to like clean up 2 corruptors pretty easy. Potentially we could see the drop pods from... Oh, we're also seeing damage at the front here. Looks like he's just trying to brute force the front, but he did take down that worm. Oh, he's not running into that, is he? Okay, I was going to say, if you're just running into them and killing them, like, do that. So we got some fucking Dark Templars here. Oh, quite a few kills. Quite a few kills here. Ooh. This sort of thing is not what you want to see. 12 workers killed. So this definitely nullifies like that early expansion advantage, right? With the 14 workers killed and potentially still going. Though we do see like a front door break here from infested, because these little colonies are pretty annoying, but they die over time, right? They just like degen as time goes on. So that's always a fucking a real piss off, I think. So they, again, even the units degen over time, so it's a bit of an all-in either way. You might want to get some Dark Templars in his base or something, though this natural is down. I question the ability of Mystical here to actually stop this. Oh, he does have Dark Templars kind of culling the horde here, so that's good. Still no real, like, detect... Okay, he does have a worm up there. Is he going to just fight the worm or run past it? Oh, he has a second worm he has to deal with. Oh my gosh, and more worms! There are worms everywhere! Okay, so I think this attack is probably halted. He might want to just stay up here at the front. That's fine. Everyone makes mistakes. So here's more shit. There's more shit spawning. They get bonuses if infested commanders are nearby. It also looks like his workers... So I say, all his workers are dead, but they just appear to be on strike or something. It's a little strange. Probably focusing on the micro. Is this another Dark Templar? Yep, so it is. Okay. So... if you can basically wait this out, you're basically fine, right? But they spawn some shit and it's pretty strong. It is more or less how that works. So the units do end up dying over time. He might need to use a shield boost to improve. Oh, he doesn't need to use his probes. That one pylon, though, is a bit weak. Looks like Summer didn't actually get a detector here. But he does have corruptors to kind of clean up anything. Nothing in production for Mystical, and the income here is completely different, almost threefold. I suppose it's more like 2.5-fold, but that doesn't sound as good. He also has his workers pretty well secured from any future Dark Templar. He does seem to... No, he can't get the pylon either. Making a second pylon, workers coming up. So income actually stabilizing because the hatchery was taken out and now his workers are back on there. So I was thinking this game might be a little more difficult for Mystical, but the simple fact that he has this... he had workers and they didn't all die, and he did take out the natural. Summer is still like going to be ahead, right? Oh man, this is annoying. Playing against these... Oh, it looks like he didn't cancel there, so he didn't get that money back. Those Dark Templars still just being annoying because Summer has no detector. I'm not sure if he even knows that these ones are here defensively. But because it's very easy to just assume, yeah, you just kind of spawn these guys and send them out, right? And if they die, whatever, because that's like the point of them, right? They die themselves. So you don't really think about their well-being too much or micro them or think of them as important. But getting a detector with them would definitely be helpful. The Soaring Roost here. Oh, looks like we have harassment in the back from the Corruptors. I don't think he has very many... Yeah, okay. He has like one Stalker. So I think this is game here. Unfortunately, the Corruptors just going to the back there. There's not a lot you can do. You might just try and be doing, yeah, some sort of all-in front door break. While interesting, it would be lovely if it worked. Oh no. Of course, you can just hold down the R button. You select your queen. Alright, here's how you play Infested. You select your queen, you hit W, and then you hold down the R button. If it tells you that you need more overlords, you build more eggs, and then there you go. Once these roaches are done, though, they're going to put down this attack. Unless he doesn't detect it. I mean, that's always a possibility, right? He just won't see it and be like, oh, hey, there's like a million dark... Oh, there's the Scrutinizer. Here's the detector. The thing to essentially ruin all fun for Nerazim whenever they try something. So, the probes are here, but yeah, it's going to be a base trading situation with Summer vastly ahead in this here. But that's fine. The probes are definitely going to get some work done before they go. They're not going to go down without a fight, right? They're just going to sit in the base and die. They're going to the front lines. It's a shame that he didn't have something to deal with these Corruptors here, no anti-air. Even if he just had like some Stalkers with like the shield boost for the Nerazim, the defensive Town Hall ability, that'd have been nice. What is this doing? Oh, he's building a Nexus. He wants to stay in this. You know, it's good. Like I said, fighting spirit, right? That's what produces interesting games. And the Banelings, it's fine. They're spread out enough. It doesn't seem to be doing anything. There's no way he's going to be able to, like, deal with these roaches, though, sadly. It's a bit of a shame. I think that he has been best this round. Though it was a good showing, I would say. Someone with that cheeky early expand build seemed to really get kind of economic advantage for a while there. And not a lot of, like, aggression or any sort of, like, pushing from Mystical, despite having a, 2 gas, a lot of gateways build. That's fine. I mean, the probes are here. They're going to do what they can, no doubt. One for wanting some workers, right? Really putting a dent. This is more like a rebellion, right? Like a really weak rebellion, rather than necessarily a war anymore. It's good. A for effort. Fantastic.